There's a few common challenges that means I tend to show up in someone's life. One of the big ones, and I was talking to someone this week in the group, is that we often play the same stuff, through like a habit of, we're improvising, we're noodling, we're trying to play a solo, and the same stuff just keeps coming round and round again. There's a few reasons for it. I think one big reason is that habit takes over. And instead of playing what we're hearing and then complementing it because we're present, we tend to just think about nothing and then we end up playing habits. So let me show you a couple of ways that I would suggest you start to break your own habits and patterns. The big one, and a really helpful one, is to play what you've just played. Now, as simple as that sounds, it does two things. It means that you've got to pay attention, so already you're more in the moment than just wandering somewhere. And the second thing it does is it means that you're actually making music. Because if you think about most melodies aren't random like a guitar solo or like us when we switch off. Most melodies remind you what you've just heard and then add a little bit more to it. And it's one of the quickest ways to transform noodling and empty solos into something that actually sounds a bit more musical and is satisfying for the player. It also means that you don't have to learn new licks. It means you don't have to learn new scales or play elsewhere to fix the problem. You just have to stay mindful. And it could be the simplest bit. So let me show you. You could play, let's keep it to A, pentatonic, everyone's friend. So you could play, that's it, really simple. Then play it again. Add a bit more. And already I'm kind of hearing where I want that melody to go. Let me put a backing on and I'll show you. I'll just take some simple ideas and I'm only going to play, I promise, pentatonic. I might go up to second position because I quite like it up there. But nowhere else. Oh, the two other things I would bear in mind. One, you need to know where home is. If you're not sure where home is in your scale, then it does sound completely random. So in A, of course, keep coming back to A. And the other thing I would say is don't be frightened to repeat yourself. These are two big things. So here's a backing. I really like, this is called Holding the Groove. It's by Andertons. It's on, I get it off Spotify, but I'm sure it's on any of the streaming things. So I'll do those first few notes again. And again. So already it's quite musical. I mean, let's not pretend it's an awesome solo, but it's musical and it's way better than I get bored and I go up here. It's keeping me in the moment. Second position. You probably get the idea, right? So the other thing I quite like to do is explore the scale in terms of the other note's tension to home. That also makes you value things more. If you had to nutshell, why do we play aimlessly and we always think we play the same stuff? It's because we haven't added value to it. We don't appreciate the value of it anymore. It's just become this rote thing that we just do to get through the scale. But if I think of home, and then I think of all the notes' relationship to home, they all feel really different. They all have their own value. It feels really different to... Even that's quite a cool lick, just playing the scale around home. you start to realize that each note is its own character. It has its own kind of personality rather than just like glance past it. I'm just teasing in my mind what each one feels like compared to home. Then maybe play a lick again. Play again. Add a bit. Big advocate for being mindful. If you play the fast runs, or whatever your fast habits might be, use those as ways to get to the slower, more mindful stuff. So here's one. But if I have no point to that, I don't know where I'm going, and I'm not going to tell a very good story. But what I could do is have a target note. So let's say that's my target note. Now this has meaning because it's a way to flurry into a purposeful note. Whereas if I didn't value it like that and I just did this, as cool as it might be, I've got nowhere else to go. That's the end of my story. So I hope this is helpful. Take it for the weekend, mess around with it. I'm using a backing track in A minor. I suggest you use a key that you're familiar with because being mindful, you need to be familiar with at least some elements. So pentatonic's a good one to use, and phrases that you use as habits, start to add value to them. Don't just throw them away. Right, I hope this is helpful. Let us know how you get on, and I'll see you very soon.